Time for Talk of the Table, and I'm feeling a bit more like a champion this morning. I'm not sure why. Is there a reason? What could it be? I'm sitting next to an amazing...
next to two champions, maybe?
Champion trophy, and I got two champions here on set with me. Let's go through the resume. It's time for Talk of the Table, a very special edition. Legendary athletes, superstar power couple, Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe. Megan is a former National Women's Soccer League star, best known as the leader of the women's national team that won the World Cup and Olympic gold medals. Sue, four-time WNBA champion and five-time Olympic gold medalist, considered one of the best basketball players of all time. And together they host a weekly podcast. It's called A Touch More, out every Wednesday. Fresh editions, covers women's sports in general. Meg, Sue, so happy to have you guys here. Really appreciate it. So you have a regular segment on the podcast called The Bicker of the Week.
I like that.
But let's get to something that is undisputed at the moment, which is that women's sports is having a moment, and the NWSL is having a moment as well. You call it the biggest, baddest thing out there right now. Why do you say that? What are you excited about?
I think, like you said, just women's sports in general. We just went through a historic WNBA season. This has been a historic NWSL season, from viewership to just like the vibe. You can just sort of tell. We're here, first ever women's specific soccer stadium here at KCPC in Kansas City, and all the stars are showing out. Marta put on a ridiculous performance.
Ridiculous.
Trinity's obviously doing amazing. Barbara Banda. It just feels like all of the excuses that have been made for women's sports are like, we've exhausted all those, and now we're just getting to the actual product, which has been good for decades.
Yeah, and Sue, you're part owner of the Gotham team, Gotham FC, which was knocked out by the Spirit.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, as you sit here tomorrow, do you root for the Spirit or do you root against them? That's question number one. And are you thinking about changes for next season for your team?
Yeah, I think we're all rooting for penalty kicks.
Yeah.
Sadly, that's how Gotham went out. But it was a great season.
Yes, it was.
We had a tremendous year in free agency, brought in so many talented players. So I think it's more about building on that. You know, sometimes those types of teams, it can take a second to build that chemistry. So we're looking to keep that going.
Yeah, and what are you looking forward to in the game tomorrow? Because I told you both, I can't say this enough, how blown I am away by this stadium, the people that play here, and what it represents. So you point out, Megan, the game hasn't changed. It's always been this, but people are seeing it differently for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, I think Megan actually said it perfectly. There were so many excuses surrounding women's sports for so long as to why not to invest, why not to watch. Those have been exhausted, and the beauty of that is we now have all the data to back what we knew. Yeah. We knew this was great. We knew people should get involved, and now we actually have numbers, viewership, franchise valuations, you name it. We have the numbers to back that. So when we walk in rooms now, we can say proof's in the pudding.
Yeah, women's sports is not a charity case.
Right.
That's a fact. Speaking of investments, Megan, earlier this week, philanthropist Gayle King came on our show. She said she's donating $30 million over the next 5 years to help grow women's sports. What type of change and impact does that make when someone comes in with that type of capital?
I think, first of all, just someone that has the kind of capital that she has, that has, made the commitment to be like, I want to put my money here first and foremost. I think that's really important and a signal to other business people like her.
100%.
And then I think the investment specifically, from at least what I know about it, and we'll see over time, is to really build out the larger network in business that is women's soccer. So that's, more national team camp for youth players, which ultimately is gonna, grow that base for the senior national team when we're World Cups and Olympics. Investment into referees and coaches and talent identification, like all of that is
that
the larger
infrastructure.
Exactly, the larger
helps feed the
ecosystem
beast.
and foundation, to the stars that you see, on the national stage and on the international stage.
Well, we've been calling you all day. The sports power couple is coming. Power couple is coming. I'm curious, what does a power couple do when they're just at home, hanging out? I mean, you're both retired, still at the top of your game. What is your day-to-day life like for you now? Do you miss the sport at all? I know you two are very, very tight. What's it like in your house? Take us inside. Take us inside, Sue and Megan.
Sometimes.
We miss it sometimes. I miss people doing everything for me. That's nice. Now I gotta I have to make my dentist appointment. How do you do that?
I like when I get out of bed, the first step I take doesn't hurt anymore.
Yeah.
So that's a positive. I like that part.
I got a quick follow-up. I'm married to a track star. She's an athlete. We get competitive. How do you resolve issues when you are competitive and you're trying to win an argument?
Couples therapy.
Yeah.
Take it to a professional. professional.
Me too.
You know.
Me too. I'm an
Because
advocate.
you know, neither of us are moving. We're stubborn.
Yeah.
We're not
I'm pretty
budging.
sure I'm right.
We're the third party.
Yeah.
I hear you, but I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Megan, what does it mean to walk in the stadium, though? When Darian Jenkins was here earlier, she said she remembers playing on a baseball field not too long ago,
We've
and now
seen a
it's
lot.
here.
Do you ever wish you were in year one of your career and instead of year one of your retirement?
Yeah, we say that all the time. I mean, this year in particular has been like, I mean, we're happy for them, but I mean, hey, no, honestly, like.
But you paved the way, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do feel an immense amount of pride, like
Yes.
walking into this stadium.
Yeah.
Even going to W games, seeing what the national team did over the summer. I think my generation of players should all feel very proud, from all the players that started the NWSL to the national team players to the many fights we've had. This is exactly what we felt like we deserve, but this is what they deserve.
Yes.
And this is the platform they deserve, and the arena and the whole spectacle of it all.
Yeah.
And we have, you know, the biggest stars playing at their best, and that's like everything we ever wanted.
And Sue,
We're
it's
a little
happening
bit
with the-
old, but it's
happening,
okay.
It's happening with the WNBA, too.
Yeah.
You see
no
that,
doubt.
too.
For
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, and as
It's a great
former,
segment. You're the champ.
Yeah.
You're the champs of the show.
Yeah, no doubt. Sue Bird, Megan Rapinoe, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming.